Hello, and welcome to the Executive Summary on Netflix, presented to you by Dusty Akers, Lawrence Allen, Carrie Shaw, and Misty Watts. Through our time this term in organizational behavior, we have studied Netflix extensively, and we have learned a lot about the way that this company is ran. Today's objective is to examine business operations at Netflix and make recommendations based on our findings in order to improve Netflix's business communication, organization, and synergy. To begin with, our recommendations that we have found for Netflix this term are: 1, communication committee. To ensure that Netflix does not get set in their ways and that they keep improving organization communication, it would be in their best interest to have a communication committee. This committee would work together at quarterly meetings where they would take the time to interview staff members and send out surveys to ensure that the communication channels are working and if there are any improvements that need to be made. Second recommendation, a division of labor board. Netflix could create a division of labor board that meets quarterly to ensure that the correct coordination mechanisms are being used and that the divisions of labor is coherent with company goals and standards. Consistently reevaluating and checking that the same procedures are still working allows for a company to continue to grow and to remain innovative. 40% of the training budget should be designated to coordination and division of labor to ensure the company is keeping up with the demands of stakeholders, employees, and customers. Number 3, create shared skills groups for employees to learn from others, such as encourage an employee from one department to teach a class sharing their knowledge with others from a different department. This will allow people to satisfy their desire to learn a new skill or idea. This also allows for Netflix to stay creative and innovative with employee satisfaction. Number 4, it is important that Netflix set aside a team building budget. This cost should be added to the fixed costs. This would allow each department or team to attend some sort of social gathering or retreat that would allow for employees to get to know one another and create the team bond. These gatherings need to be held semi-annually. Number 5, continue to increase the company's profit by progressively changing and offering new entertainment. Set a new programming growth goal of 10% each year in order to attract new customers, as well as retain current customers and stay ahead of competing companies. These are recommendations for Netflix to stay on top of being a great company. Now, another thing that we have studied also is what would happen if Netflix was to acquire an acquisition, or if Netflix was to acquire, let's say, for instance, the company Hulu, which is also an online streaming television company. So one of the things is that in order to ensure the merger of these two companies is a success, we put forth a few processes that we think would be vital to that success. The first one would be communication. Create a committee consisting of members from both companies. This communication committee will also involve human resources as well as the research and development sections of the organization. The team will schedule quarterly meetings and will be responsible for creating and implementing processes for internal communication. This will also help in the transition period from one company's set of standards and policies essentially being taken over to Hulu's processes and policies. This opens up that line of communication for employees who may be struggling with change. The next is to have a good structure. The new labor demands created by this merger would require roles to be defined and labor to be divided between new teams. A Division of Labor Board will meet quarterly to ensure tasks are being properly distributed and are in line with company goals. The board will be given a budget equal to 40% of the training budget and will be tasked to design labor coordination to the satisfaction of stakeholders, employees, and customers. And last but not least, to have a successful merger, we have to learn. The combining of companies brings in an enormous amount of intellectual capital. In order to capitalize on this new resource wealth, groups will be created to encourage and help employees to learn from each other. Each employee or team will be tasked with developing a 1-hour seminar on a topic they excel at related to the needs of the company. Each employee or team will be required to present a seminar annually. In conclusion, the merging of these two companies has potential for great success. The recipe for this success will rely on being and having the ability to communicate well, divide the workload in a manner in line with company goals, and learn from each other. Thank you for tuning in to our summary of Netflix. The end.